Brighten up those already bright mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the Cabin.
I'm a newfie.
Mornings at the Cabin. Jumped in a little early this morning. That's fine. Wheeler and Ollie with you on your Friday morning. Not sure where that part of the intro came from. That's fine, though, too.
I'm a newfie.
I'm
a newfie. I'm Spartacus.
I am Spartacus. Wow. Okay, well, I guess we'll hear about that. That's fine. Mornings at the Cabin. Welcome to Friday. Welcome to Friday with a light dusting of sugary goodness out there on the ground. It's -10. It's May 2nd, May 3rd. Do you know where your children are?
In my distant future. Where they belong.
Where they belong. I can't even see them over the horizon. I can't even imagine them. That's fine. What is going on this weekend? All kinds of things going on this weekend. We've got the main stage showdown tomorrow night. Mamma Mia is wrapping up this weekend after an incredible sold-out run. People still looking for tickets every day. I see it on Facebook. Anybody got any tickets? This is pretty kind of unheard of for Ptarmigan as well, so that's pretty awesome.
Gumboot Rally is Saturday morning. The MS Walk is Sunday morning. A whole bunch going on. This is when
the season turns to things like it starts to turn into like an elongated Christmas. As we know, around Christmas, there's things going on all the time. Summer is very much that way. May through September, every weekend there's going to be all kinds of stuff, and we will keep you apprised of it as we learn about it or if we remember.
And maybe there won't be snow on the ground for some of it.
Maybe. I mean, let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Mornings at the Cabin. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter with you on your Friday morning. Lecter showed up with a butter toffee coffee, and I already got him a butter toffee coffee.
You could just say that all day.
I could.
Would be really happy.
It rolls off the tongue.
Butter toffee coffee.
I should think it does roll off the tongue. It sounds like we're going back to our molasses from the lips feature of yesterday.
Molasses dripping from your lip there.
So, what's the calorific content of butter toffee coffee?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, I have no idea. They don't put that on the canister.
They don't. They really should. My green tea latte is probably not that much better. I mean, green tea is very good for you. Mixing it with a bunch of sugar and milk, probably not great.
I drink it black, though, Ollie.
There you go.
I think most
black
of the bad
butter,
stuff is what you add to your butter toffee coffee.
Okay.
Black butter toffee coffee.
That's right.
That sounds good. Though we are being jovial right now, a bit of sad news that we found out yesterday that Peter Mayhew passed away. Now he is famous, obviously, for playing Chewie in Star Wars. If I could do the sound, I would. I can't.
Yeah, no,
but he passed away on April 30th. He's 74 years old. And he was, obviously, most famous for Chewbacca, but also as being like a guy who was really into fandom, always showed up at conventions, always had time for the fans. I mean, that was pretty much his entire career was playing Chewbacca. And like, if you played Chewbacca in 6 movies, I don't think you need to do anything else. Probably money-wise or just career-wise. I mean, where are you going to go? You know what I mean?
He played Chewie in 6 movies?
6? Yeah, I think. Maybe not 6. I don't know how many.
How many were Chewie?
So, okay, so Star Wars, you got New Hope.
Yeah.
You got Empire.
Right.
You got Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
That's 3 of them.
Okay. half.
I think he Star Wars Holiday Special is also in there.
A Chewie Christmas.
That is a real thing, the Star Wars Holiday Special. If you haven't seen it, look it up on YouTube. It is a disaster. It is incredible. So I guess only 3 movies, but I think he made appearances in costume. He may have been in like one of them, episode 3. Because Yoda says goodbye to Chewbacca, and like all Chewie had to do was stand there, and I think they brought Peter Mayhew back for that. For the new series, they've got a new guy, like a Swedish dude, who is like 9 feet tall. But I think Peter Mayhew actually made an appearance in one of the new ones as well. So he's done a few appearances.
So he did the noises all himself?
I don't think he did the noises.
No?
I don't think so.
What did he do?
This is
Just
like the
walk
guy
around?
who played. This is like David Prowse who played Darth Vader.
Who played Darth Vader?
In terms of like you essentially just appeared.
Yeah.
Your face could not be seen on television,
Right.
and so you essentially were just like the sort of the inner core of a character that
Which
was
is a lot
voiced
of it.
by somebody else.
You got to get the movement right. The physicality's got to be there. But so 3 different people played Vader though. So David Prowse in the suit, James Earl Jones is the voice, and then when they took off the mask, I can't remember the guy's name, Sebastian something. Yeah. So
Who did the breathing?
I don't know. There's some Foley artist probably.
Or Jesse, were you even prepared for this?
Well, I wasn't prepared to talk about Darth Vader and the breakdown of his character. But Peter Mayhew passed away on April 30th, just a few days short of May the 4th.
Oh.
But a sad day for Star Wars fans. And again, if I could do the noise, I would. Can any of you, can I do
Chewy noise?
This? Chewy noise.
No, this falls into the same category as Welsh accents.
Yes.
As things I will not
Oh,
attempt.
no one's going to be offended by this.
I think we give it our best try as a tribute to Peter.
Should we all give it our
our
best?
Ollie, you go first.
I'll count us down. We're going to all go at the same time.
No. We need to distinguich between who's the worst.
No, we don't. That's exactly why we're all going at the same
let's
time.
do it. All right.
3,
Peter Mayhew,
2,
may the force be with you.
1.
Yeah, that was my best Bobcat Goldthwait.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast was recorded before a sort of live, thankfully not in the studio, audience.
The Spinners, Rubber Band Man, Mornings at the Cabin. Wheeler, Ollie, Lecter with you on your Friday morning, and I pushed the program button. I did. I don't know what happened. Ollie is just...
Despondent.
Despondent is the only word for it.
No, disconsolate would be another one.
Oh, disconsolate. What's that one mean?
Yeah, what's that mean?
Yeah.
It's impossible.
You're outside
to
the
console
consulate?
Me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've
Ability
been
to console me.
disconsolate, like what's his name? Julian Assange.
He was very much only consulate. He was like solely consulate because that was the only place he could exist for 7 years.
That's right.
Until the Ecuadorians got bored of this whole charade.
It must have done wonders
Stop
for his
paying his
health.
rent on time.
That's right.
His cat is the real issue. So he had a cat, and the cat became a minor social media phenomenon
Guess we're
because
talking about this now.
the poor cat had to just hang out where Julian was, right?
Yeah.
So the poor cat basically ended up just holed up in the Ecuadorian embassy, but he took allegedly, don't want to get sued over this, jeez, allegedly took relatively bad care of said cat.
Shocking.
To the point where the Ecuadorian prime minister wrote to him to say, will you please clean up after your cat in our embassy in London, because it's really starting to get on the nerves of people there.
Oh, I got one for this. I got one.
Oh, okay.
His cat was taking little WikiLeaks all over the place.
All right, well, you win.
Collateral litter.
Play the rest of the show. We're done here.
But I had other mildly entertaining animal news to talk about.
Yours is more mildly concerning.
Was it concerning?
A little bit.
All right.
I
Well,
think.
okay. I guess the one is concerning, and this is the one that a whale surfaced near Norway with a strange harness around it, and they figured they had to rescue it. Maybe got it tangled in it and whatever, and they discovered that this beluga was trained, and they think, and then looking at the harness, which has little camera holders, like GoPro holders on the sides of it, they looked at the harness, figured out where it was from, and they figure that this was a Russian spy beluga.
I mean...
Yeah, have you seen this story, Ollie?
No.
You must have seen this, no?
No.
Oh, really?
Why must I have seen this?
I don't-
What
you-
about me?
I feel like
You
it's been
read
everywhere.
everything.
What
Yeah.
about me suggests that I focus, when I do read the news, that I focus on Russian spy beluga stories?
it's
Shouldn't we
stories.
all be focused on Russian spy
I think
beluga
they're jumping to
stories?
conclusions. I feel like it's far more likely to have been a mermaid
Possibly.
Ooh.
Possibly.
Well, it looked like
with
it.
a little harness,
So
GoPros.
they noticed that the whale defied normal whale behavior by persistently harassing their boats. So that's when they spotted this harness wrapped around the whale's body. They brought it in closer, and then after that discovered that they was wearing a Russian harness, and it was obviously a trained whale.
Hang on, why?
Russian spy.
Why, if you're sending out a spy whale, why would you pop the Russian flag on the side of the
Well,
harness?
no,
Well,
it was
that's-
it was the company that made the harness. It
Yeah.
wasn't like the Russian flag. It was
But
just
why
like
would you have the company name on the harness? I feel like
I
spy
don't know.
school, second semester at spy
Like-
school, is
Yeah.
don't leave the company branding on the stuff.
yes.
I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, you got to prove that harness isn't stolen, right?
That's right.
Just scratch off that barcode.
Sorry, Vladimir. Company regulations prevent you from scratching our name off there, but I think you find it in the contract, subsection 41, paragraph D.
The Russians are denying
Oh, really?
Probably
They
must
deny
be.
the existence of any such program, although the U.S. Navy has done this as well. They've trained dolphins, so the Russians definitely are training something.
Yeah,
there.
the British trained bluefin tuna, and it didn't work out very
Did
well
not
at all.
work out. Yeah, a tasty training session it was. So that's interesting.
I found it interesting that they used the word harassing the boat. When meanwhile, all the video you just see is the just like, hey,
Beluga's like, hey,
I'm
buddy.
here. Like harassing.
I'm
would be
not
like
Russian.
knocking
Let's-
it over or something.
Yeah, let's just show me all your secrets.
The beluga is deep undercover, right? Like, hey, I'm just a beluga. I'm like, the beluga's not going to come up with a Russian accent. It's not going to be like the hunt for Red October.
Could be.
It was kind of like he was showing off. He was like, check out my sweet harness, guys. Look at this thing. Yeah.
Just
You
don't
want-
look too closely.
It'll give away the game. That's fun. That's fun stuff. That's good stuff.
He had another
The
mildly.
Russians are coming. Well,
concerning,
yeah.
but
It's this one's slightly less entertaining because, but it's still kind of funny. A turtle was found wrapped up in a bunch of suitcases and rope that turned out to be 1,500 pounds of cocaine.
Sorry, that's mildly funny from the turtle's point of view.
No,
How?
it's. I didn't say mildly funny.
No, it's mildly
I said mildly
concerning.
entertaining. The turtle's fine.
The
They
turtle's
didn't.
fine.
This thing is, they didn't use the turtle to smuggle the drugs. The turtle found itself caught up in it.
In aquatic cocaine news,
Yes.
in the UK earlier this week, now we're onto my home turf
There
of
we
news that
are.
I've read.
Aquatic cocaine news. ACN.
They did a study of shrimp in British waterways, and they found that literally every one they tested had cocaine in its
Yes, I
system.
know. I heard
What?
Literally every shrimp had some amount of cocaine in its system, which obviously leads to one of two conclusions.
Inferiority complex.
Well, okay, three conclusions. So, conclusion number one,
The shrimp work in sales.
four conclusions. Either we're doing a very bad job of like not ditching cocaine in British waterways, or the shrimp are just needed a little extra something, to get.
Gotta get through the day.
Get
Man.
through
Just
the
gotta
day.
get through the day.
Now it
lot
is
of
a little
whales and
concerning
sharks
that it
out
was
there.
literally every shrimp,
Every shrimp.
and one wonders like what amount of cocaine, because there were trace amounts, right? From a human point of view,
Yeah.
not enough for anything to happen. But one wonders like what's the tolerance level in
But
shrimp?
if you had a whole shrimp ring, you'd be having a party.
If you're wondering later on today why the Yellowknife Co-op has sold out of shrimp rings,
Do you have any English shrimp? English shrimp. No. Oh, you don't know where it's from? I need to know if this is from England. I have a party tonight, and I really want to impress my party guests.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast, where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
The kids are all right, or at least they're turning out that way. There is going to be some strike action this morning. Ollie?
yeah, our strike correspondent Ollie Williams
A
reports.
strike.
Yes, well, here we go again.
Here we are again.
Yeah, after protracted weeks of negotiations with the climate.
The kids are walking out. Here's the thing, though. I mean, like, I feel like in our generation, or at least my generation, I'm older than you two, that we would have striked, or like you when you had like student elections, you'd be like, I promise to make recess 5 minutes longer. I promise to have free pizza day on Friday, and be like, yeah. And now kids, probably as young as 10, are like, I'm going to ask our MLAs for proper consideration on climate change legislation. All right. Well, great.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
So in
So no
case you're
pizza
not
day?
No pizza day.
in case you're not aware, listening to this,
That's
this is
right.
all about the fact that kids across the world have been heading out of school
Yeah.
on Fridays in order to protest inaction on climate change.
Yeah.
And Yellowknife kids actually seem to have like stuck with school for a relatively long time and have now been like, hey, you know what? Actually, hang on a minute.
Yeah. Well, today's the day across the country, is it not?
It's one, it is,
Yeah.
but there have been days before.
Of course.
But this is the first one where Yellowknife, so it's happened in Inuvik already. Kids in Inuvik have already done
Yes.
this. This is the first time that kids in Yellowknife have specifically said,
Okay.
we're going to walk out on Friday. Now, how many that will end up being, I do not know. I know like of a few that are definitely going to do this, but I don't know how many we're going to
I
end
hope
up
it's
with.
a lot. I hope it's everybody.
Right. We'll find out. I think
It won't
they
be.
were planning on starting from around about now-ish.
Okay.
Outside the post office here in downtown Yellowknife. So what I'm going to do is stroll out there, and we'll see what we can see. We'll see how many people. Maybe they'll be dressed in orange tabards with "practice picket" written on them. They
I hope
probably
so.
won't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see what is going on there. I mean, what
is their strike?
Me?
What is their strike pay?
First of all, that's a very good question, and is guaranteed to get a slightly confused look from everybody when I ask it in 7 minutes' time.
Yeah.
The thing with all of this that worries me slightly on a global scale about all of this is, for example, a few days ago, like the British Parliament passed a legislation declaring a climate emergency as a result of some of this pressure.
Good Lord.
And it was seen as a victory.
Yeah.
But is it? Because it's just more talk.
Yes.
And the concern for me is that if
it just gets muddled and gets tossed aside.
I feel like we've already had a lot of people spend a very long time saying there's a climate emergency.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Continuing to say there's a climate emergency isn't going to change the fact that we've already been saying there's a climate emergency. What we need, the only way that this is going to change is if governments take drastic action.
Absolutely.
And that's been acknowledged for a long, long time.
Yeah. Well, and corporations taking drastic action as well.
And us,
private
frankly,
companies.
taking drastic action, which we always hate to talk about because everybody always says, well, yeah, but like the government needs help, the corporation needs to help me out. And yet, amazingly, like everyone takes 5 flights a year.
Yes,
you know, nobody says, you know what, I'm not flying home to visit family this year because I'm worried about the climate.
It is on us. It's incumbent on us as consumers to actually help this out. But I mean, we're not in control of billions of dollars. I mean, we kind of are, but we're not in control of the means of production. We're just
I thought we were.
Well, I mean, I wish we were. It would take everybody walking out at once. So yes, I mean, we do have some power there, but corporations and government need to take the lead on these things and governments need to not be beholden to corporations.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that governments tend to harness that argument and then expand it up to a larger scale.
Yes.
So individual human beings say, well, look, I'm one person alone. What can I do? It's pointless me completely changing my life if 6 billion, 7 billion other people are going to continue to pollute the environment.
Mm-hmm.
Which has some merit to it.
It's not
right?
pointless, though.
But then governments take that to a larger scale, and you hear political parties say, well, why is Canada worried about cutting back its climate change emissions when China's doing all of this and India's doing all of that?
Absolutely.
And then you have whole countries that don't take action.
That's ignorant thinking, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I mean, and some of the reactions to these student strikes have been just abhorrent. Like you see the articles in Alberta, they walked out in Alberta, walked out in Ontario, and it's always... I hate to say this, it seems to be people of a certain age who are just like, kids in my day used to be respectful and they used to go to school, stay in school and blah, blah, blah. We shouldn't listen to these kids. And it's like, well, you're not listening to anybody else. So, and that's kind of why these things are happening.
And it concerns them the most, quite frankly.
Of course, because they're the ones that are going to have to inherit all of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if we're in a climate change emergency now, 50 years from now, we could be in a very, very bad place. We could be in a bad place 10 years from now. We're getting into a bad place now.
I think if you need to take a positive out of it, you kind of spelled it out at the start of this break yourself, that being that people have been saying that there's a climate change potential emergency happening for years and years, those people being scientists. Climate, people who have been studying the climate for years and years. The fact that protests and strike action have now led to this message actually convincing a government to declare a climate change emergency. That's progress.
That's progress.
You have to look at that. Yeah, I mean, it's not as fast as we need it to be to save us all. Yeah, but it's something. It's a start.
But this is how we tend to be as human beings. We tend to be like, okay, well, we learn how to adapt based on what gets thrown at us, basically. So, like, we may not be able to prepare for everything. We're not able to prepare for everything until we know exactly what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, once we know exactly what's going to happen, the seawaters rise, there's a tornado in the middle of Yellowknife or something like that, then we'll be like, oh, okay, well, now we know how to prepare for that.
Yeah.
But we won't be able to prepare for it until it actually happens.
Right.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
Yeah, large or small increments, at least it's the right direction.
Want the meat and potatoes of the morning show with none of the filler? You've got it with the Mornings at the Cabin podcast. That's a strange breakfast, though.
Ollie's down in the street. He's our man in the street. Ollie, what's going on in the street?
Hello. So welcome down to just outside the post office. I can actually see the studio from here.
Hi.
This is the least ambitious outside broadcast I think we've ever done. But here we are outside Canada Post, and I've got like 7 or 8 people in front of me here.
That's all right.
So I'm gonna read out some banners for you. Every day is Earth Day. Your mistakes equals my future.
Ooh.
# schools strike for climate. Strike for climate. Our future. matters. Okay, and there is no Planet B at the back there as well.
Nice.
All right, so let's come in. Oh, your side is bilingual. Okay. Has he got one on the other side as well, or is it just like, yeah, let's show me the English one because, you've got to account for my limited intellect. Your mistakes equals my future. Right, come on to say a little hello to me. What's your name?
My name is Alice.
Okay, hello, Alice. So what brought you out here today?
Well, I'm striking for climate.
Okay, but what persuaded you to decide that now was the time?
Well, because I don't want, my grandchildren or my children even to be living in a world where they can't have anything really good to eat or stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, so this is it. This is a school strike for climate. Is what you're listening. You can hear horns going in the background as people drive past and celebrate. I'm going to come in and have a little chat to Ella as well.
A hint of irony.
Ella, what's the plan for today? You're pretty much going to be out here all day, aren't you?
Yeah, so we're going to be out here all day, 8:30, or I guess it's 8 to 3:30, hoping to raise awareness about climate change and incite action in all levels of government.
How many people do you think you're going to get to take part in this with you?
I have no idea. I think right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so I'm pretty good with that. Hopefully we'll have more people out at lunchtime, but yeah.
Okay. Now, Wheeler wanted me to ask in the mornings at the Cabbage Studio, what's your strike pay?
Knowing that I am taking action towards the future of my children.
Oh, that's a
Good
answer to that question.
That was beautiful.
Oh,
Wow.
I love that. Okay, now on a serious note, Ella, what do you believe that movements like this can do? Obviously, this is not the only one happening. This is happening across the world. What do you believe this can actually result in if people carry on doing this?
I think that there can be a lot of change, and that that this can help encourage education about climate change in the public, and it will help encourage governments to make positive changes towards reducing greenhouse gas emissions and putting a price on pollution, really.
Okay, that is the voice of Ella. We've got, as we've been saying, 7 or 8 people out here, lots of people honking their horns as they pass by. You will see this pretty much all day long. If you're in Yellowknife and you drive past the post office downtown, you will find, there's currently a motley crew of people wrapped up nice and warm because it is a bit nippy out here. There's a big sign that says honk for climate action. Mr. Wheeler, back to you.
Thank you very much, Ollie. That is Ollie Williams, our climate change reporter down on the streets. If you're driving by the post office, make sure you honk at them. Give them a little bit of support. Because these kids are striving to make a positive change. Got some ABBA coming up. Waterloo. If you change the word Waterloo to climate change, makes the song a lot more fun.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
For the first time ever, a drone was delivered. A drone delivered a donated kidney that was then successfully transplanted into a patient. So what they're thinking is that this is going to be kind of the future of delivering these things, because of course the faster you can get an organ to someone for a transplant, the better it works. So
Organ pipelines.
They're too dangerous.
Considering that.
Too many leaks. Can't transport them by rail either. That's inefficient.
Organs everywhere. Middle of nowhere. Just bleed it out into the countryside.
I found a kidney
Somebody's
earlier.
got to clean that up. Local wolves. This is possibly the greatest day for wolves.
Local wolves tasked with cleaning up organ spillage.
Yeah. Job complete in 9 seconds.
Could take days.
But this is cool. I mean, this is a first. I mean, we're seeing drones used for a lot of things. Pizza delivery, namely Amazon delivery. Now organ transplants.
Are we actually saying pizza delivery?
Absolutely.
By drones?
Oh yeah.
Really?
So Domino's started toying with that like 3 years ago.
Toying with or doing?
Doing.
Wow.
Toying the doing.
Toying the doing.
So drones seem to be taking over everything. So it's just a matter of time before drones start doing the thing where they knock somebody unconscious, take their kidney forcibly, and then leave them in a bathtub full of ice. It's an urban legend, but I mean, the more we teach robots about our shared human experience, the more they're going to take away, and that could be one of them.
Naturally.
It would be very unfortunate if, in order to program the drones, they were just allowed to listen to Mornings at the Cabin reruns, and all their knowledge of the human race came from this morning show. Then I think there would be
Pretty wonderful.
a lot of concern. First of all, they would spend... The good news is, actually, we would buy ourselves a lot of time because those drones would spend a lot of time searching for the Yellowknife cabal.
They're out there, and they're making decisions for you.
Well, and this is putting things into perspective a little bit because on Tuesday morning, you were complaining that Rogers had gotten into contact with you, Hockey Night in Canada, messaged Ollie,
I guess
and
Rogers
wanted to
is no longer going to advertise with us. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, it's all right. We threw them well under the bus 3 days ago. There's no more damage we can do.
What happened?
I don't think they had any intention. But anyway, Hockey Night in Canada, Rogers Sportsnet had gotten in touch with Ollie, and they wanted to use some of his drone footage
that's right.
of Yellowknife
Yeah.
for one of the Hockey Night in Canada openings.
Yeah.
This week or next week, whenever they were planning on doing it. And they didn't want to pay him.
Of course not. Why would a huge national media company want to pay for something like that?
Yeah. Or wait, what was it? They weren't prepared?
It was...
We're not
interested.
We're not prepared to pay for
yeah,
it.
we're not looking to spend any money right now. Was
Oh my
their phrase.
God.
So, and now I'm thinking that
Rogers is garbage.
Well, at first I was thinking, well, they're just being cheap, trying to get away with something. But now I'm thinking, well, that maybe they just understand the true potential of drones, and they're like, that's cute that you think your footage is worth so much. Do you know what drones are capable of, Ollie?
Yeah, it could deliver a kidney. Why would we pay you for aerial footage? Okay, well, Rogers just made the list. Put it up on the wall. Rogers is on the list. They will never be able to advertise with us, and we are allowed to say whatever we want about them.
That list grows somewhat exponentially.
It does. It really does. People ask, like, it's just like, Kevin, our slogan should be, listen, just because we work for free doesn't mean we work for free. You know what I mean?
I feel like our slogan should really be, here are the 8 companies we haven't badmouthed yet.
Feel free to get in touch.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca.